So you're moving out. Congratulations! It's a big step full of opportunity and terrifying unknowns, and unfortunately, the only way to learn how to really effectively live on your own is to go out and actually do it. Experience is king after all, and I can't offer you that in a quick 5-minute video. However, I can give you 3 simple tips to get you through the first couple of months while you figure out what it means to actually be an adult. First, you're going to establish your diet. We've all been there. It's 6 o'clock on a Tuesday and you haven't eaten dinner yet, so you hop on down to McDonald's, you grab a Big Mac, and you call it a day. While McDonald's is delicious and offers an easy one-time solution, it is important that this does not become a habit for multiple reasons. For one, it is expensive. I know that I sound like your parents, and that's because your parents know what they're talking about sometimes. McDonald's thrice a week will cost you $1,500 over the course of a year, and that could be spent on something far more enjoyable than scarfing down sodium and regret on your ride home from the Golden Arches. But beyond your wallet, you must realize that you are getting older. The cold hard truth is that it doesn't matter how much of an athlete you were in school, your body is becoming less efficient at processing junk food every single day. As someone who found himself well over 300 pounds because of a terrible eating habit, I implore you to nip the problem in the bud and start eating right from the get-go. And we do this with effective meal planning. Before you go grocery shopping every single week, your goal is to plan out what you're going to eat for every single day at every single meal and then shop accordingly. Now let's be honest, you're probably not a world-class chef, but the good news is that you don't have to be. There are plenty of perfectly acceptable meals available so that even a simple caveman like myself can make them. You will probably repeat some meals during your weekly schedule, and that is fine. Cooking for one is hard, and I get it. So long as you find a meal that you can enjoy, it doesn't matter if you have it 4 or 5 times a week, your wallet and your waistline will appreciate it. Secondly, you must understand that things are going to go wrong. Your AC will break, your sink will leak. Bugs will find a way to make your life annoying. You will miss a bill, and at some point you will need medical aid. Your parents are no longer around to handle all these problems for you, and while you can't consult them for advice, it's now your job to deal with the task at hand. Now, it's perfectly fine to allow yourself an hour to panic and be frustrated with these issues. There's no denying that the obstacles of life can be annoying and stressful. However, unless your house has burned to the ground or you're stone cold in the coroner's office, then these issues can get resolved. Once you've given yourself an hour to panic, it's time to get to work. As evidenced by the fact that you have access to the internet to watch this video, you also have the internet to research and solve your problems. There are people in your area who specializes in solving your issues if you're willing to hand over a reasonable fee. There's probably a hardware store nearby that has the tools you need to start fixing the problem yourself, or if neither of those options are available to you, Amazon will probably deliver the tools you need to get to fixing the problem if you're willing to wait and pay the delivery fee. There are no problems too large that you cannot solve with enough time and effort. Just give yourself a few minutes to panic and then get to work. You're an adult now, and it's your job to handle these issues as they arrive, and I promise the tools to do so exist within your means. You just have to go out and find them. There is a surprising amount of satisfaction that can be found in encountering and overcoming the mundane obstacles of life. Finally, establish your schedule. On top of going to work, there are things that need to be done on a weekly basis. You need to get groceries. You need to clean your room. You need to make sure that there are time for hobbies and friends. You need to have time to exercise. However, unless you set aside time for these activities, the usual end result is that you will do none of them. Your life is about to get very busy, and while you have all the freedom in the world, your time will be sucked down the drain if you allow it to be. There are quite literally tens of billions of dollars hard at work trying to keep you glued to the couch and watching a screen. And while there's nothing wrong with a Stranger Things binge now and then, your time will slip away if you are not careful. By setting up your weekly habits, you commit to going out and fulfilling your duties as an adult, either performing the mandatory life maintenance or doing things you actually enjoy with the people that you love. It's one thing to say that I will clean the house once a week, and another to get into the habit of a quick clean every Thursday after dinner. Consistency and commitments turn chores into habits and activities into hobbies. Additionally, since you're an adult now, it's your job to get these things done right, because no one's going to hold you accountable if you do not. There is no teacher to give you a grade on the cleanliness of your house, and there is no tutoring available to keep your social life active. The only person you have to answer to is yourself, and while that can be immensely liberating, it also frees you up to fail your basic maintenance task without visible consequence until it's far too late and requires a monumental effort to get your life back in working order. Time sinks are easy to fall into, but effectively scheduling and getting into habits provides us with guardrails to keep us safe. So those are your basics. If you can understand these principles of eating right, handling your issues, and establishing your schedule, then you're well on your way to surviving in adulthood. If you're an experienced adult, feel free to leave your advice down in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, by all means, like and subscribe to help others as they take this leap into the great unknown.